Dollar Tree has been quietly making changes, and if you do your grocery shopping there, even just for a few things, you're going to want to pay attention to this. Because starting August 1st, a list of canned foods that budget shoppers have been grabbing off those shelves for years are being pulled. Some are getting discontinued, some are getting cut from stores entirely. And the frustrating part is that nobody's sending out an announcement. You're just going to walk in one day and the shelf is going to be empty. So before that happens, let's talk about what's going away and what you should be doing about it right now. Before we get into it, and if nobody's been keeping you ahead of these kinds of changes, that's exactly what this channel is for. Go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. And tell me in the comments, are you a regular Dollar Tree shopper or do you just pop in occasionally? I want to know how much this actually affects people watching. We're also on Dailymotion and Spotify now. If you'd rather catch this somewhere else, scan the QR code right there on your screen, or the link to both is sitting in the description below. Okay, 10 items. Let's get into it. Number 10, canned chunk chicken. This one surprises people because canned chicken tends to fly under the radar. It's not glamorous, but it is genuinely useful. A can of chunk chicken at Dollar Tree has been a go-to for quick casseroles, chicken salad, wraps, and pasta dishes when you don't have time to cook a full bird. At $1.25 a can, you could grab 4 or 5 of them and have the protein base for a week's worth of lunches sorted. The problem is that the supplier contract behind this one is not being renewed, and the shelf space is already shrinking in a number of locations. If you've got a chest freezer or even just a decent pantry shelf, this is worth stocking before it disappears. A case of 12 cans runs you $15 at Dollar Tree. That same case at a regular grocery store will cost you somewhere between $24 and $30 depending on the brand. That gap matters. Number 9, canned black beans. Black beans are one of those items where Dollar Tree genuinely competes with everyone else on price. A 15-ounce can for $1.25 is hard to beat anywhere, and black beans are not a specialty item. They go into soups, rice dishes, tacos, burrito bowls, salads, and they work as a side all on their own. They're one of the most versatile canned goods you can keep in the house. What's happening here is a combination of things. Import costs on certain legume products have gone up, and Dollar Tree has been narrowing which canned goods they keep stocked long-term. Black beans are on the list of items being rotated out at many locations. If your family goes through a can or two a week, buying 10 to 15 cans right now before August 1st is just smart math. Number 8, canned diced tomatoes. This one genuinely stings because canned diced tomatoes are a kitchen workhorse. Pasta sauces, chilies, stews, soups, shakshuka, chicken dishes, they show up everywhere. And at Dollar Tree, they've been running at $1.25 for a 14.5-ounce can, which undercuts most grocery store brand pricing by 30 to 40 cents per can. I've personally kept a running stock of these for years. My husband used to wonder why I'd grab 8 cans at a time. But when you're feeding a family and you're pulling from the pantry 3 or 4 nights a week, you go through them faster than you think. The supply of these is tightening post-August across the Dollar Tree network, particularly the seasoned and fire-roasted varieties, which have already gone missing from several store shelves. Number 7, canned corn. Canned corn sounds simple, and it is, but that's the point. It's a reliable, budget-friendly side dish that kids actually eat. It stores forever, and it adds bulk and sweetness to soups and casseroles. Dollar Tree's canned corn has been consistent in quality and price, landing at $1.25 for a standard 15-ounce can. The issue is that corn is one of several vegetables being quietly phased out as Dollar Tree streamlines what they carry in the canned goods aisle. Stores in certain regions have already dropped it. If you stock canned vegetables regularly, this is one to grab a dozen of before the cutoff. At the grocery store, the same size can run closer to $1.75 to $2. That's real money when you're buying in bulk over the course of a year. The next few on this list are the ones that hit harder because they're not just convenient, they're the kinds of canned foods families genuinely lean on when the budget gets tight. Stay with me. Number 6, canned tuna. Canned tuna is probably the single most grabbed protein in the Dollar Tree canned goods aisle, and for good reason. A 5-ounce can of chunk light tuna in water for $1.25 is genuinely one of the better deals in budget grocery shopping. Tuna salad, tuna melts, pasta with tuna noodle casserole. It stretches a meal budget in a way that very few other proteins can. What's changing here is partly supplier pricing and partly a broader shift in how Dollar Tree is categorizing their canned protein section. Several regional distribution centers have already cut their tuna orders significantly ahead of August. Some stores are already running low. If tuna is a regular in your household, and for a lot of families it is, this is the one I'd prioritize most out of everything on this list. Stock up now. A dozen cans costs $15 at Dollar Tree. Finding that same quality and quantity elsewhere for under $20 is getting harder every month. Number 5. Canned pinto beans. Right alongside black beans, pinto beans are taking a hit too, and these are not interchangeable for everyone. Plenty of families cook specifically with pintos for their refried beans, their soups, their cowboy-style side dishes. A can at $1.25 has made Dollar Tree a genuine pantry resource for people feeding families on a tight budget. The pullback on legumes across the Dollar Tree network is affecting both varieties, but pinto beans appear to be phasing out faster than black beans in many locations. If you make refried beans from scratch, if you do any kind of Tex-Mex cooking at home, or if beans are a regular protein source in your house, 10 to 15 cans right now is not an overreaction. At a standard grocery store, pinto beans in the same can size typically run between $1.60 and $2. That difference adds up to real savings over the course of a year when you're buying them consistently. I'm curious, which of these canned goods do you actually keep stocked at home? Drop it in the comments. I always learn something from what people are actually buying and cooking with. Number 4. Canned green beans. Green beans are one of those vegetables that show up on the table in some form in almost every American home, whether it's a simple side dish, a green bean casserole at the holidays, or just something thrown into a soup to stretch it further. Canned green beans are a constant. Dollar Tree has carried them reliably at $1.25 for a 14.5 to 15-ounce can, and they've been good quality. Not mushy, not oversalted, genuinely usable. This is another one in the vegetable category that's being thinned out from the Dollar Tree lineup. The pattern is pretty consistent across the board. Dollar Tree is pulling back on canned vegetables generally, and green beans are squarely in that group. At a regular grocery store, a comparable can runs between $1.50 and $1.90. Not a massive difference on a single can, but if your family goes through 2 or 3 cans a week across soups, sides, and casseroles, that gap turns into real money by the end of the year. Number 3. Canned cream of mushroom soup. This one is going to sting for a specific kind of home cook, the kind who keeps cream of mushroom soup on hand not just to eat as soup, but as a cooking ingredient. It goes perfectly into a green bean casserole dinner. It's the base for countless slow cooker recipes. It thickens sauces, it adds depth to rice dishes, and it pulls together a chicken casserole in about 30 minutes flat. At $1.25 a can, Dollar Tree has been the smart place to grab it. The issue here is that name-adjacent and store-brand condensed soups have been quietly exiting Dollar Tree's inventory as their supplier agreements shift. Cream of mushroom is one of the first to go in this category, and unlike some of the other items on this list where you can easily substitute a brand, cream of mushroom soup is pretty specific in recipes. You can't always just swap it out for something else and get the same result. If this is a staple in your kitchen, and I know for a lot of home cooks it genuinely is, buying 8 to 10 cans before August is a practical move. The same can at a regular grocery store runs between $1.75 and $2.50 depending on the brand. Stock up now and you won't have to think about it for months. And before we get to the final 2, if this kind of heads-up content is useful to you, the subscribe button is right there. There's a lot more coming on how to shop smarter and stretch every dollar further, and you don't want to miss it. The last two on this list are the ones people grab almost on autopilot every single time they walk into Dollar Tree. And losing access to them at that price point is going to be felt. Stay with me now. Number 2, canned chicken broth. Chicken broth is one of those things you don't think about until you reach for it and it's not there. It's the foundation of soups. The liquid you use to cook rice and quinoa, the thing that turns a dry leftover into something worth eating again. And Dollar Tree has been carrying 14-ounce cans of chicken broth at $1.25, which sounds small until you realize how often you actually reach for it. What makes this one particularly frustrating is that chicken broth isn't a specialty item. It is not trendy at all. It is not seasonal either. It is simply a basic. And yet the canned broth category is one of the areas where Dollar Tree's supplier relationships have become strained heading into the second half of this year. Several store locations have already cut their stock in half, and the restocking orders have slowed considerably. The math here is straightforward. At a grocery store, a comparable can of chicken broth runs between $1.75 and $2.50. If you cook at home 4 or 5 nights a week and you're pulling from a can of broth 2 or 3 times a week, soups, sauces, grains, braised vegetables, you could easily go through 8 to 10 cans a month. Buying 20 cans now at Dollar Tree pricing versus buying them later at grocery store pricing saves you somewhere between $10 and $25 over just a couple of months. That is real money for one simple pantry item. I've personally kept a running stock of chicken broth for as long as I can remember. It's one of those things where running out mid-recipe is genuinely annoying, so I keep at least a dozen cans on hand at all times. If you cook the same way, now is the time to build that stock up before August hits. Number 1 on the list, canned tomato soup. Canned tomato soup at Dollar Tree for $1.25 has been one of the quiet workhorses of the budget grocery world for years. And it earns the top spot on this list not just because it's beloved, though it is, but because of what it represents for families shopping on a real budget. Think about what canned tomato soup actually does in a household. It is a lunch staple for kids and families everywhere. It is the perfect comfort food on a sick day. It's the base for a quick homemade tomato sauce when you're out of the jarred kind. It doubles as a soup and sandwich dinner when the week has been long and nobody has energy to cook. It stretches further than almost any other canned item on this list in terms of how many meals it quietly supports. And here's the part that should genuinely bother you. Campbell's, which supplies a significant portion of the tomato soup that flows through discount retail channels, has been renegotiating its distribution agreements with Dollar Tree specifically. The condensed tomato soup line is among the products being pulled back from the Dollar Tree price point. What you're going to find after August is either an empty shelf, a reformulated store brand version that doesn't perform the same way in recipes, or the same product at a higher price somewhere else. At a grocery store right now, a can of condensed tomato soup, same size, same product, runs between $1.60 and $2. That price gap sounds quite small on one can, but if your household goes through 2 or 3 cans a week, you are looking at anywhere from $60 to over $100 a year in difference just on this single item. That is the kind of slow leak in a grocery budget that people never notice because it happens one can at a time. So if there is one item on this entire list that I'd tell you to go buy right now, today, not next week, it's this one. Grab as many as your home pantry shelf will hold. Canned goods keep for 2 to 3 years easily. You are definitely not wasting money here. You are locking in a price that is about to go away forever. 10 items, 10 opportunities to get ahead of something before the shelf makes the decision for you. And the window is very short. August 1st is not far off now. Did any of these catch you off guard, or were you already watching some of these disappear from your store? Tell me in the comments, and if you've spotted something I didn't mention that's also going away, drop that too. People in this community catch things I miss all the time, and I genuinely appreciate it so much. If this had you thinking about how to build a smarter pantry overall, I've got a video on that. Search for Pantry Stockpile Basics right here on YouTube, and you'll find it. It pairs very well with what we just covered today. Now go grab those cans before the shelves beat you to it and everything is gone.